Hello everybody, welcome to the 1000 subscriber Q&A. I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it a lot. You guys don't even know what this means to me. I love making these videos. I love putting out content for you guys, and I will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. Xenoblade 3 is coming out in only like 7 months now. So you'll be able to see my my first playthrough ever. I will be putting my first playthrough on the channel, so look forward to that. Now, this video is going to be a sort of unscripted Q&A. I did think about scripting it out, but I feel like the answers come a little bit more organically and come across more human if I don't script it. So we are just going to, I guess, go one by one through all of these questions that I have. If I did not get to you, I'm sorry. The video came out and I didn't get to your question, but in the future, I am sure I will do more of these for more subscriber milestones. So if you have any questions for me, just be sure to save them for then. So XenoBrub asks, who is your favorite Xenoblade character? And I feel like many of you will know the answer to this question. It is Alvis. Alvis is by far my favorite character in the series. I love him so much. Runner-ups are definitely like Dunban, Melia. I love Dunban and Melia. I really like Poppy. Poppy is one of my favorite characters as well. Morag I really like. But Alvis it just blows them out of the water. I just love just love everything about him. I love how mysterious he is. I love his character design. I love his voice. It's just, he's my favorite. Okay, the Almighty Moist says, favorite non-Blade game and why? So I guess they're asking what, out of Xenogears and the Xenosaga games, what is my favorite Xeno game? The answer to that would probably be Xenosaga 3. I really liked Xenosaga 3. I recently played it, probably about a year ago at this point. I finished up the Xenosaga series, and I genuinely enjoyed every second of Xenosaga 3. I thought it was easily the best one of the trilogy, and I definitely am going to be playing it again in the future. Xenogears is definitely a runner-up. I like Xenogears a lot. The issue is the gameplay of Gears just hasn't aged very well. It just is a product of its time, unfortunately. But I did like it. I like the story a lot in Gears, and I think that's what sort of saves it for me. The story is just such high quality, and it is sort of worth slogging through some of the more bothersome gameplay sections just to get to the next portion of the story. So I guess that's a testament to how well the game is written. Xenoblade Fangirl says, would you want to live on the Bionis, the Mechonis, or Allrest? I don't think so. I don't think I would. As much as I love Xenoblade, I don't know if those are the best places to be living. If the Bionis or Mechonis started moving, I don't know. I don't think those are the best places to be living, to be honest. If I had to pick, though, it would probably be Allrest. It seems like society is a little bit more established in Allrest rather than Bionis and Mechonis. The people of Bionis are continuously under threat by the Mechons, so that's just a no for me. And Mechonis just seems kind of lame to live on. I don't know. It's not very exciting. It's just a lot of machinery. And I love my computer, but I don't think I would want to be surrounded by a giant computer. So yeah, it would probably be Allrest, I would say. AaronDX asks, my favorite non-Xeno game. So this is actually going to be a weird answer. If you don't know me, this is going to be very surprising. But my favorite non-Xeno game is Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. I love that game. It was my favorite game until Xenoblade came along, if you could believe that. I really liked Luigi. He was my favorite Mario character growing up, and he finally got a game. He got like his own game, and I remember being so excited when I finally got it. And I was probably 7 or 8 at the time when I did start playing it. And that game is scary. for a little kid, for a child, that game is very, very scary. I question the E for everyone rating that game has. I know it's a Mario game, well, it's a Luigi game, and I know it's a Luigi game, but man, I remember not doing too well as a little kid. But as I got older, I genuinely love the gameplay of that game. I love the feel, I love the atmosphere, and I was very excited when Dark Moon and Luigi's Mansion 3 ended up being announced all those years later. A more serious answer, I guess I could give, is Mother 3. It's just such a good game, and I would highly recommend Mother 3 to anybody that has not played it. You do not need to play Earthbound to understand Mother 3. It's its own thing. But yeah, I'm done shilling. I'm done shilling for now. Tomate asks, what is my favorite area in each Xenoblade? I guess it's kind of a boring answer. But my favorite area is probably Bionis Leg. It was an insane area. At that point, I hadn't played a game of that scale before. So the first time, I know it's cheesy, but the first time I ever walked out of Tephra Cave and Bionis Leg just started coming into view, and there's that long overhead view of the whole location. It just blew my mind. Just like everybody else, I really love the music in that area. I guess a runner-up would be Aerith C. I really like the aesthetic of Aerith C, but unfortunately, it's kind of barren for the most part. It's not as big as you would actually think. Xenoblade 2, my favorite area. I don't know. I guess my favorite area in Xenoblade 2 would probably be Uriah. I don't particularly enjoy walking around Uriah. I just really love the way that it looks, and I like the music there. And I like a lot of the story events that happen in Uriah. In Xenoblade X, I don't know if I really have a favorite area. I guess Primordia. It's not like I'm not in love with any of the areas. There's a lot of memorable places in each area, but I don't find one that sticks out in my mind where I say, yes, that's the one. I guess you could say I like Sylvalim's music the most, I like Oblivia's aesthetic the most, and I like Primordia's geography the most. That would probably be the closest I could come to an actual answer. Manky Music asks, what is your favorite track from the Xeno series? It honestly depends what mood I'm in. For years, I think all the way up until Xenoblade 2 came out, the answer to that question would have been just the main theme for Xenoblade 1. But after Xenoblade 2 came out, I really fell in love with Incoming. I think Incoming is probably one of the best battle themes in the series. It's a really good song. I really like Drifting Soul from Xenoblade 2. That's a super solid song. Uncontrollable as well, I like a lot. But I think currently my favorite song probably has to be Tragic Decision. I think that's just one of the best pieces of music written in the whole series. Just the emotion that it conveys. You just go through feeling so many different things when that song plays. If you ask me in about a year, it'll probably switch to something else. But that is the answer I'm sticking with right now. Link-A-Lot asks, what is your one biggest hope for Xenoblade 3? That it's good. That people like it. That's sort of a basic answer. Or maybe it's not a basic answer. I'm sure some people's biggest hopes are like, don't bring the gacha back, or bring Xenoblade 2 gameplay back. But my biggest hope is that people like it. I want it to be a game that grows the community larger. I want people to appreciate Xenoblade for what it is. I think in recent years, Xenoblade has been sort of given a bad rap. I think people look at Xenoblade 2 very surface level, and they play a couple hours of the game and they make judgments there, but it's an 80-hour, 70-hour JRPG. You can't play chapter 1 and 2 and then be like, yep, I know exactly how I feel about this game. You really can't. And unfortunately, a lot of people just look at Xenoblade 2 and because they play it for such a short time, they just jump to these conclusions, and it's just because it's a slow game to start. The story starts out slow. And I don't blame it for that. I just hope that Xenoblade 3 is a very accessible game, something that everyone can jump into and enjoy and be able to want to play the other games in the series. That is my biggest hope. Azani asks, in what aspect did your life change when you discovered the Xenoblade Chronicles saga? My life completely changed after I played that game. Like, my whole being changed. The way that I thought about life changed. I don't know, it's so hard to describe. I guess you could say that it gave me a lot of clarity on making decisions in life. Because Xenoblade 1 is... For those that don't know, I played Xenoblade 1 first, if that was not apparent. But, Xenoblade 1's story is so much about, like, making your choices and, like, carving your path and taking the future into your hands. Even though there's, like, external influences that are telling you can't or you shouldn't, you just do it. You just do it because it's what you want. And that, I think, affected me a lot. It also just changed the way that I looked at media, because before Xenoblade, I hadn't really played a game like that before. I had played it was like a lot of platformers, a lot of like RPGs more akin to like Paper Mario and Superstar Saga, and I love those games. I love those games a lot. I love Mario Galaxy. I love Pokemon and Metroid, but Xenoblade was my first proper JRPG, so it really got me into the genre and made me want to experience more games like it. So it sort of changed my priorities in terms of what games I wanted to be buying and what I was looking forward to. So it changed that as well. It's also the only game series I could ever imagine like making a YouTube channel centralized around. I really like Earthbound and I really like Metroid, but those aren't the type of games that I could play for the rest of my life. I could genuinely play all the Xenoblade games. I could play all the Xeno games like forever and not like need anything else. I don't think I would, at least currently, I don't feel as if I could burn out of the Xeno games at all. But I'm sure I would make a bunch of videos on like Mother and be like, yeah, I think I've said all that I need to, but that's just not the case with Xenoblade. Gruhas 14 Feet asks, what is your favorite story concept in the Xeno series? That's actually really tough. It would probably be Xenoblade 3. We really don't know much about the story concept, but it seems like it's big and crazy and massive, and it takes two of my favorite games ever, and it like combines them. It seemingly taking elements from both games and pitting them against each other, and there's like an ideological war there. I cannot wait for that game. I love the setups for 1 and 2 and X. I think the concepts for those stories are amazing, particularly Xenoblade 1, but I think that at this moment in my life, Xenoblade 3 is like probably the most excited I've ever been for a video game. if you could believe that. I'm sure you could believe that, but it probably is the most excited I've ever been for a game to come out. And I love Smash. For those that don't know, I love Smash, and I was on the hype train for Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, but this is like on another level for me. PolarCon asks, what is your favorite piece of lore in the Xeno series? There is a lot. There's a lot to choose from. I think I'm going to exclude Xenogears from this question because there's so much lore in Xenogears that intrigues me like crazy. And it's sort of all attached to like the greater story. It's everything connects in that game. So there isn't like a one-off piece of lore that I love. It's just sort of, it's all intertwined. I like how much limited information we have about like the beginnings of the Xenoblade 1 and 2 worlds. Seemingly anything could have happened. Just learning more about Jin's past, like his previous driver Ornelia and all those people in that photo, I would be very interested in some way to know more about them. It's not like Jin's father or Jin's grandfather in that picture. That's Jin. That is Jin in that photo, and because of the unique circumstances of being a blade and the unique biology of blades. That was him, but he does not remember anything from that time. So I can't really imagine like what he and other blades like Bridget must feel when they try and look back on their previous lives. Litho asks, "Who are you?"
Who am I? None of your business. Stop asking questions.
X-King asks, "What is your favorite Xeno OST?" Probably Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 2 comes in a close second, and then Xenogears after Xenoblade 2, probably. I think pretty much every single song on Xenoblade 1's soundtrack is like really good, except Irregular Bounce. I don't particularly like Irregular Bounce. It's a really like whatever song. Also, I guess Sword Valley Day is like, it's like whatever. But I think the whole OST is just solid. So Xenoblade 1. L-Bags asks, "Did you know you always wanted to make video content, or was it something you found yourself getting into recently?" So I actually have made video content before. I've done a lot of videos other than this channel. I've had 2 other channels, both of which are abandoned at this point. And you will never find them. You will never find these channels. The first channel had Let's Plays on it. It was whatever games I was into at that moment. I do remember Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga was like my first Let's Play. And I don't even think I finished that game. I don't think I finished any of the Let's Plays, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, really like cringy, like 14-year-old me, making bad jokes at video games. Hopefully on stream I'm not cringy. Hopefully you guys will appreciate my commentary and my thoughts when Xenoblade 3 comes out. My second channel, I sort of was I was gonna do content similar to this, but it ended up it ended up not really being what I wanted it to be. I was happy with the stuff I had put out on it, but it really wasn't something I feel like I could have done forever. So finally, after however many years, I think it was after 2 years of doing stuff on Twitter and streaming, I finally decided after I had finished, it was actually right after I had finished Xenosaga, I had made the choice, okay, I think I want to start making video content for all these games, right? Because now I have all the experience with all the Xeno games. I could officially call myself an authority on on the series, and I could easily deep dive into any topic and go on web pages looking up things without inadvertently spoiling myself. So that was a big thing. Yeah, I made the jump back in, I want to say July. I don't know off the top of my head at this moment, but in July of 2021, I uploaded my first video, or maybe it was August, and I haven't looked back since then, and I'm going to continue to upload. To Play asks, "What are you hoping the next Xeno game will be after Xenoblade 3, assuming we get one? X2, Xenoblade 4, or the start of a new series?" I think, so if I were to get everything I wanted, if it was a perfect world and I got everything I ever wanted, I would want a Xenoblade 4. I would just want Xenoblade to like keep going, sort of like Final Fantasy. I would want it to keep going, but I would want them to take as much time as they needed in between each entry to ensure quality. I think what's best and what might give us better games in the long run might just be a new Xeno series. As weird as saying that sounds, having a fresh start and a blank slate to work on a brand new project, I would be excited to see what ideas Monolith Soft would come up with, because they've sort of been like chained to Xenoblade. Of course, every Xenoblade game is different. The gameplay is very different and the stories feel different. But I think that because they want to have a central story weaving everything together, some decisions that they may have wanted to make just can't be possible. So I would like to see them just make a game without any restraints at all. Now, those are all the questions I have for today. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for the support. Who knows where this channel is going to be by the time Xenoblade 3 is out, but I know that that game is going to flood the community with brand new fans, so I'm very excited to share all of my knowledge with them and get them just as excited as I am about the series. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.